Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I want to show you how to replace an O2 sensor on a 2000 Nissan Pathfinder. And what you want to start with is finding the codes for the O2 sensor. Now this had a check engine light on it, and so through the code reader I was able to determine that it had a P0138 code and a P0139 code. And those are saying the bank 1 sensor 2, which means whatever cylinder 1 is on that side, that O2 sensor is having an issue. And sensor 2 means that it's after, or it's downstream, installed after the catalytic converter. So right here I am showing the bolts and the one bolt and the 2 nuts that you take off to get the engine cap off here. And these are 10 millimeter. So there's 2 nuts on the left or on the passenger side and 1 bolt on the driver's side to take that engine cap off. Now you can go online to see the specifics of what P138 and P139 entail if you want the specifics of it. And then also how to find out what side cylinder 1 is on if you have, a V6 or a V8 type of engine. You can do that online too, or sometimes it's underneath the hood or some other location that may tell you the firing order and what side cylinder 1 is on. Okay, once the engine cap is off, there's going to be 2 downstream of the catalytic converter O2 connectors up here, and you can see it is underneath this one connector. That's the one I'm pointing to right there. And then on the passenger side, it's going to be where the white wire goes into, that black connector. And to get these off, you need something to depress the green tab. You just push it straight in and it should lock in place. And then once it locks in place, you're able to separate the 2 ends of the connector. And there's a metal tab that holds those connectors. So you just push that black tab in and slide it off that metal tab. And you're going to have connectors all along the way, so you may need some wire cutters or a flathead screwdriver, and then you can pry those plastic tabs out. And then for this application, about midway through or a quarter of the way through the year, they changed the design of these O2 sensors. So you want to look at the manufacturing date and make sure you get the right O2 sensors, because that was an issue on this install. Yeah, the auto parts store had the tabs inside the connector going horizontal, but then when you look at the tabs on the vehicle, they were going vertical. So you can see on the passenger side or the driver's side, I'm pushing in that black tab at the end of the pry bar just to get it off that metal tab. And then this is the new one. Now these plastic tabs should line up, but in this case they didn't. So I ended up zip tying the wiring to the locations that they should attach to on the engine, or at least the majority of them. And then when you're doing that, make sure that nothing is interfering with it, especially when you get underneath to where the drive line's at. Make sure that none of that is touching the wiring and it's away from it. And they put a bunch of anti-seize on this, so you want to clean it off the ends if there's excess. And then I put the cap back on so I can slide it through without it hitting anything. Now I used a 7/8 in this case. You can also use a 22 millimeter to tighten or loosen the O2 sensors. I just didn't have an open in 22, so I used the 7/8. Now I'm using a lubricant to get these loose, and in this case it's called PB Blaster. I just sprayed a little bit on either side to get these out. And I only filmed the driver's side. The passenger side is literally the same. You just have to be careful not to mix the two up, the new O2 sensors, because one wire is shorter than the other wire. So in this case, the shorter wire goes on the passenger side. And so here's the new one. And I go ahead and turn it the opposite direction for a few turns. That way when you put it into the hole, the wires aren't all kinked up. Or you can just fix that from up top if it's not connected yet. And then you'll want to torque these to whatever it says on the box or what your manual says. And in this case, I think it was a quarter turn once it was tight, an eighth to a quarter. Or once it gets seated. And then you just reconnect them and make sure all the plugs and all the connectors are tight. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, let me know.